Managing blood sugar through diet is not as simple as cutting out desserts. Sugar appears in food far beyond the obvious places, and understanding where it hides and how it behaves in the body is the foundation of effective diabetes nutrition. Simple carbohydrates found in white rice, white bread, and refined grain products function identically to table sugar, producing blood sugar spikes just as readily as any confection. Even excess dietary fat can contribute to insulin resistance over time. Clearing up these foundational concepts allows for more informed and consistent food choices. Building a structured eating schedule matters more than many people realize. Skipping meals and compensating with larger portions later creates the exact blood sugar fluctuations that diabetes management is designed to prevent. Irregular eating also interferes with medication effectiveness. Metformin taken without food can cause significant gastrointestinal distress. Setting consistent times for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and planned snacks, and maintaining those times daily creates a physiological environment where blood sugar stays far more predictable. Total caloric intake works in parallel with meal timing. Even nutritious foods consumed in excess can drive blood sugar upward. A daily range of 1,500 to 1,800 calories is a reasonable baseline for many adults, though individual requirements depend on height, weight, and activity level. Managing total intake alongside food quality typically improves both blood sugar control and weight, and reducing excess body weight directly reduces insulin resistance. Carbohydrate counting is one of the most practical tools for ongoing blood sugar management. Reading nutritional labels and tracking carbohydrate grams per meal allows for consistent dosing when insulin is part of the treatment plan. A physician or dietitian must establish the appropriate insulin to carbohydrate ratio before carb counting is used to adjust medication. But the tracking habit itself produces meaningful improvement in awareness regardless of medication type. Testing blood glucose before and after specific meals reveals which carbohydrates cause the sharpest spikes, providing a personalized guide for what to reduce. Fiber behaves differently from other carbohydrates because it digests slowly and produces a gradual glucose response. High fiber foods, including lentils, barley, whole grain breads, and most vegetables, tend to have lower glycemic impact than low fiber alternatives. The American Diabetes Association recommends 22 to 35 grams of fiber daily for adults. Consistently choosing brown rice and whole grain bread over white versions and whole fruit over juice are practical ways to increase daily fiber. A small glass of unsweetened orange juice contains more sugar with less nutritional benefit than eating the actual fruit. The glycemic index ranks foods by how quickly they raise blood sugar, with scores below 55 classified as low glycemic. Nuts fall consistently in this range and offer additional advantages as a diabetes-friendly snack because their combination of protein, fiber, and healthy fat slows glucose absorption. One study found that eating just under 1 ounce of pistachios twice daily produced a 9% decrease in fasting blood sugar among people with metabolic syndrome. Portion control matters given their caloric density, and plain raw or dry roasted versions are preferable to salted or coated varieties. Leafy green vegetables, including spinach and kale, are among the most valuable foods for diabetes management, providing vitamins A, C, E, and K, alongside iron, calcium, and potassium, while having minimal glycemic impact regardless of serving size. Fatty fish twice weekly is specifically recommended by the American Diabetes Association because the omega-3 fatty acids in salmon, mackerel, sardines, and albacore tuna help reduce the elevated cardiovascular risk that accompanies diabetes. Steel-cut or old-fashioned oats carry a glycemic index score of 55 or below and provide soluble fiber that has demonstrated meaningful blood sugar reducing properties. Unsweetened yogurt rounds out this group as a fermented food with a GI score below 50. One study showed that consuming 5 ounces of yogurt daily improved participants' post-meal insulin and blood sugar levels. Several categories consistently drive blood sugar upward. Added sugars appear in an enormous range of packaged products beyond obvious sweets. Salad dressings, sauces, cereals, granola bars, flavored yogurts, and many condiments all commonly contain significant quantities. Food manufacturers use dozens of alternative names, including dextrose, maltose, fructose, barley malt, and evaporated cane juice. Some products deliberately divide sugar across several of these names to push each one lower on the ingredients list, while the total sugar content remains high. Natural sweeteners including honey, agave nectar, and maple syrup carry comparable and sometimes higher carbohydrate counts than white sugar. One study found that people with prediabetes experience similar blood sugar increases after consuming 50 grams of either white sugar or honey. Stevia is a more appropriate low-carbohydrate alternative. Instant oatmeal, despite oatmeal's healthy reputation, has been processed to digest rapidly and often contains added sugars. It should be replaced with steel-cut or old-fashioned oats. Fruit juices and flavored coffee beverages behave similarly to sodas in terms of blood sugar effect. A standard glass of unsweetened orange juice delivers around 100 calories with sugar concentration comparable to many soft drinks. A medium-flavored coffee drink from a major chain can exceed 400 calories and 70 grams of carbohydrates. Plain water, water with lemon, or black coffee eliminate these hidden sugar loads entirely. White pasta, white rice, and white bread are refined carbohydrates stripped of fiber and nutritional value that produce rapid blood sugar elevation. French fries combine high carbohydrate content with frying in oils that promote inflammation. Trans fats found in margarine, peanut butter, baked goods, creamers, and frozen products add metabolic disruption. Food labels can legally state 0 grams of trans fat when a product contains less than half a gram per serving. So checking ingredients for partially hydrogenated oil identifies their presence regardless of what the nutrition panel shows. The plate method provides a simple structural approach to building meals without detailed tracking. Using a 9-inch plate, filling half with non-starchy vegetables, 1/4 with lean protein such as chicken, fish, turkey, tofu, or eggs, and the remaining quarter with carbohydrates naturally limits carbohydrate load while ensuring adequate protein and fiber. Potatoes, fruit, milk, and yogurt count as carbohydrate choices within this method. Reading food labels accurately requires moving past front-of-package claims. Labels reading fat-free, all-natural, or organic are marketing statements, not indicators of blood sugar impact. The ingredients list on the back is more informative. Ingredients are listed by weight from most to least, so the first 3 ingredients represent the largest proportion of what the product contains. A product whose leading ingredients include sugar, refined grains, or hydrogenated oil is worth putting back. An ingredients list longer than 2 to 3 lines generally indicates heavy process. Serving size requires careful attention because a package may contain 3 or 4 servings, multiplying the real-world caloric and carbohydrate impact of eating the whole thing. The psychological dimension of food choices is frequently underaddressed in diabetes nutrition guidance. Boredom, stress, fatigue, using food as reward, or arriving at meal decisions while overly hungry reliably produce choices that undermine nutritional intention. Identifying which emotional states tend to precede difficult decisions and developing alternative responses to those states produces more durable change than nutritional knowledge. When eating at fast food restaurants, several adjustments make meaningful differences. Choosing grilled protein rather than fried, whole grain bread or lettuce instead of standard buns, and side salads or fruit instead of fries substantially reduces blood sugar. Ordering water instead of soda, whole minimally processed foods, adequate fiber, appropriate portions, structured meal timing, awareness of hidden sugars and trans fats. If you want to go deeper on everything covered here, the book Diabetes, Nutrition, and Management is available on Amazon. The link is in the description below, where you can buy it or read the review. If this guide to diabetes nutrition has given you practical clarity on what to eat, what to avoid, and how to read food labels correctly. Share it with someone managing diabetes who could benefit from a clearer picture. Hit the like button if this kind of detailed, actionable information makes a genuine difference. Subscribe for more evidence-based content on managing blood sugar and making food choices that work in the real world.